but even though it was just mostly highlights, he demonstrated that shotgun power, man. I'm talking when he hit that boy, bow. It was like a gunshot. When he got hit, I thought he got shot. I ain't gonna lie. The way he fell, I thought he got shot, man.
From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Dr. PG NGM. Praise God to get money. Back with Engineers to the Street to give y'all another YouTube video banger. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. The doctor's in the house. Y'all know what it is, man. Hey, check me out. So today I want to give y'all a quick video, man. You know, when I say quick, y'all know I'm loquacious, right?
First of all, you're throwing too many big words at me. Okay, now, because I don't understand them, I'm going to take them as disrespect. Watch your mouth.
Y'all know I be loquacious. I be talking, but I be trying to keep it short. So I got a little timer that we going to put on, right now. Hold on, let me put it on right now. I'm going to try to keep it less than 5, 6, 7 minutes. But I'm going to give y'all my prediction, and a little breakdown on the fight that's going to happen tonight. I know I'm a little late, but I had some stuff going on. My team, I be busy. Because this really made me mad. I'm not going to lie. I still got Michaela Mayer up there and Natasha Jonas. No, first of all, I'm mad, but I'm mad at the judges. You got to direct your energy appropriately. It's not Natasha Jonas's fault. She has no control over the judges. She's just the victor. She's the beneficiary of a bad decision, but it was not her decision. So don't put too much pressure on Natasha Jonas. Just like Tim Bradley when he beat Pacquiao, that was not Tim Bradley's fault. You go in there, you fight the best fight you can. It's the judges. It's on the judges to be honest and be fair. Michaela Mayer beat that lady in Natasha Jonas. Shout out to Michaela Mayer for being a warrior. It is what it is. She won. I'm still mad at boxing. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But Artem Dalakian versus Seigo. Is it pronounced Seigo? Seigo Yuri Akui, man, they're going against each other today. I call it the Road Warrior versus the Hometown Hero, respectively. Dalakian being the Road Warrior because he always fights abroad. He always fights at somebody else's home turf. Going against Akui, who is a Hometown Hero who never fought outside of Japan. He's a Japanese fighter, never fought outside of Japan. It's difficult because, Akui not fighting outside of Japan. A lot of his bouts are hard to find,
but I cannot see. I'm legally blind. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
At least for me. So I haven't really seen too many of his fights. I've seen like 3 or 4, which we'll discuss later. And then Dalakian, he travels along. I've seen a little bit more of his fights, but let's break it down, man. But they have no common opponents, so it kind of makes a comparison and contrast a little difficult. But my thing, I do my research now. That's why I got my PhD in engineering. I'm a research scientist. You feel me? So I'm gonna bring that to the boxing world, and I'm a pugilist enthusiast.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So let's get right. Pugilist enthusiast is what I tried to say. I don't know what I said, but let's get right, man. So first off, we're going to start off with the challenger, Seigo Yuri, man. From what I've seen, man, he's very explosive. With his combinations, as far as his combinations go, he's very explosive with his combinations. He even can fight off his back foot, even with his back against the ropes. Man, I've seen him come off and just explode off the ropes many a times, man, run his back against the ropes. So that's very impressive. That's hard to deal with, especially when you think that, because it can kind of set you up for a trap. You think you have the advantage, you press them and then bow.
Here you go. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm tired of that. It was so disrespectful. You done hit me in my mouth with some goddamn money.
He just come off the ropes and just hit you with a nice little uppercut or a nice hook, a check hook. And the thing about Akui, he's also willing to trade punches. It seems like he loves the exchange. He comes forward and he applies a lot of pressure, tries to wear you down. He has a mentality that, hey, I'm gonna take one of yours, you can't take one of mine type stuff. It's kind of like in boxing terms, considered the Mexican style of boxing. So I really like that. Me, I love Leo Santa Cruz, Juan Manuel Marquez, one of my favorite boxers. And Juanma is more of a counter puncher. But Leo Santa Cruz is gonna walk you down and just wear you down, man. Just thunderous blows, and that's the kind of file I like. Same with Triple G. He has a Mexican style. He's not Mexican, but he has a Mexican style of boxing as well. So I saw 3 fights, like I hinted towards earlier, of Akui. Sorry, excuse me. I always call him Ayuki. I seen him fight Taku Kuwahara, I believe it's how it's pronounced. Kuwahara, yeah, Taku Kuwahara, and he got a KO in the final round. It was a 10-round bout, and he knocked him out in the 10th round. I'll be honest, I didn't see the whole fight because it was mostly highlights. Like I said, it was one of those fights that are hard to see. I watched it yesterday, I believe, and but even though it was just mostly highlights, he demonstrated that shotgun power, man. I'm talking when he hit that boy, bow. It was like a gunshot. When he got hit, I thought he got shot. I ain't gonna lie. The way he fell, I thought he got shot, man. But yeah, so he ended that one. He dropped him twice in that fight, two or three times in that fight. And then the next up, we got him going against, I saw him fight Jason Vason. That was a good fight. You know, it was a clear win for Akui as well. It was a 10-round unanimous decision. It was a clear win for his favor. And then I seen him fight Takuya Kogawa. Let me reference my notes real quick, make sure that's
a few moments later.
Did I say right? Yeah, Kogawa. It was another unanimous decision, and it was a clear win. It was a clear win. Now, the downside, like I said, he's a pressure fighter, so he's going to wear you down, man. He's a tough guy, man. I like him. I like his fighting style. But the only thing is, you know, another thing, you know, I got to give y'all the full story now. He has 2 losses. Now, just because you have losses don't mean you're bad.
Bullshit! Bullshit!
But it is something to consider. Well, if you like me, you're putting money on it. Even though, you know, I said I never bet money on boxing. How they robbed me for mayor.
Your sneakers too! You talking about Calvin? Get off the block!
You know, I'm hard-headed. You know what I'm talking about? So, you know, I do my research. I was really right. It's just the judges robbed, so I can't help that. But the only thing is that, you know, I'm addicted to it a little bit. I'm not really addicted, but I might put money on this one. I don't know. I think you should stay away from it. Don't put money on this one, but I think I might. You know what I'm saying? So, with him, he has 2 losses. 1 loss coming to Nakatani, and it was by TKO. So he is susceptible to get knocked out. He's seen the canvas before, that being Akui. And, you know, but Nakatani is no shame in that because he's a very good fighter. He's undefeated himself, so there's no shame in that loss, man. We've seen Nakatani fight some other people as well, so at least I have. And the other one was a loss. So this person I don't really know is Absede. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Absede. He's out of the Philippines. You know, I'm not really familiar with him, like I said, but I do know his record. He has 13, I think, 22 wins and 13 losses, so that's a pretty big blemish on the record of Akui, so that's not good. Now let's get to the champion, Artem Dalakian, man. Artem Dalakian, he gives you angles, awkward angles at that. You know, he's explosive on his attack, and not really explosive with his combinations, but he's gonna jump in and lunge at you, bow, hit you with a pack, ba ba boom. You know what I'm talking about? Well, he's not gonna hit you with the ba ba boom, but he's gonna hit you with the boom. You know.
Oh wow!
And his fighting style reminds me of here's a throwback for you. Those are my boxing OGs. Prince Naseem Ahmed. He's gonna give you the awkward angles. He's gonna come at you and punch you when you least expect it. He's gonna jump to the left and bow, hit you with the right. You gonna jump to the right, hit you with the left. Even though I did it backwards, but you know my thing. But yeah, he's gonna do something like that, man. Even though he's not quite as powerful as Naseem Ahmed, not quite as explosive, not quite as strong. And not quite as good, but he's still good enough to get the job done. Obviously, he's undefeated himself. You know, he's undefeated with how many wins is he? I believe 22 wins. So he's undefeated right now with 22 wins, 0 losses. So he's doing a good job, you know, handling business. I believe, in my opinion, that Dalakian, being the traveler that he is, he has fought the better competition. He beat Josper Perez by unanimous decision, which is not all that, but Josper Perez is a good fighter. We last saw Josper Perez, I believe, on sometime in December. I believe the last day of December, last day of 2023, December 31st, I believe. But we saw him lose to Kazuto Ioka. You know, boy, these some names, boy. Kazuto Ioka, you know, who's another good fighter out of Japan. Yeah, so Josper Perez, nobody to just throw away like that. He's a good fighter, and Dalakian beat him handily. And then what's the name? He also fought Brian Valoria. I don't know if you remember him. Brian Valoria lost. I remember seeing Brian Valoria fight against Roman Gonzalez, Chocolatito. You know, so that was a good fight, but Chocolatito won. I mean, it was a dominant fight for Chocolatito, but Brian Valoria held his own. You know, but the thing with Dalakian, he lost a point against Brian Valoria, and he still won handily by unanimous decision. So that's a good sign right there for those of you favoring Artem. Now, his last match. David Jimenez. He's a strong, big puncher out of Costa Rica. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I thought he beat Artem. I'm gonna be honest. This fight happened last year. I thought he beat Artem, and I'm not alone in that. You know, I remember Andre Ward was commentating as well as Tim Bradley. They also had David Jimenez winning pretty comfortably, you know, but it was a robbery, you know. But that shows you that Artem can't be counted out. Granted, this was not a fight in Costa Rica. Like I say, he's a road warrior. I think this one was in a neutral place. I think this was in I think that fight was in England, if I'm not mistaken. But even if it's neutral, you know, it's still Europe, so it might be the edge might be given to Dalakian as far as it goes to the judges and the crowd, because you know that's just how it is, you know. But I think the fact that Jimenez is a strong puncher, a very good puncher, and Artem did not get hurt that fight. You know, he was getting touched up, but I don't really think he was hurt, not in my opinion. But the judges had Artem by unanimous decision, so he can pull out the decisions now. So that's kind of in his favor, I guess. But I definitely thought David Jimenez beat him. Like I said, I still believe that the closest thing we have. With that being said, I still think that that's the closest thing that we have Seigo Akui's fighting style. I think David Jimenez he comes forward. He has good combinations. He's strong. I think he's stronger than Akui, who Artem will be fighting, but he's strong too. And I think that's where we could draw the comparison. That's where I'm going to draw the biggest comparison to is David Jimenez to Akui, and the fact that Artem survived that. He survived the stronger puncher. In my opinion, I think that that David Jimenez would probably beat Akui as well. I think he's also more I'm not gonna say more disciplined, because I think he's a little wilder than Akui, but he compensates for that wildness with his power and his pressure. I think he applies a little more pressure than Akui will too. So with that being said, I think Akui's way to win is to corner Dalakian, and I don't think that he'll be able to do it. To cut off the ring, I don't think he'll be able to. I don't think he'll be successful to the point where Dalakian will be counted out. Now, of course, he has the home cook. You know what I'm talking about, that home cooking. I got beans, creams, potatoes, tomatoes, because it is in Japan, so he has that in his favor. As we just saw, Natasha Jonas had that in her favor, you know. And unfortunately, in boxing, when it goes to decision, the location of the fight or the venue is definitely something that is considered heavily, unfortunately. So that's where I'm a little hesitant. Like I said, I will say it again: do not bet on this fight, but I'm gonna bet on this fight.
So you have chosen death.
And I'm betting on Artem, man. I'm betting on Artem. I'm betting on the Road Warrior to come out on top. You know, again, not being at home, because he does say that he enjoys the thrill of fighting at somebody else's turf. You know, he gets to expose his skills, or showcase his skills rather. Expose sounds negative. He gets to showcase his skills to a new audience and stuff like that. So shout out to him. He is 36 years old.
Damn. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying that's old, but it's just something to consider. Seigo Akui is 8 years his junior. I believe he's 28 years old. So yeah, so he's 8 years his junior. So that's just something to take into account. Also, Dalakian being the visitor, I think that's the biggest thing we want to take into account. But like I said, I got Artem. I think Artem is. I think Akui hasn't really seen something like Artem before. I think Artem has seen something like Seigo before, like I said, and I think a slightly better version, man. But yeah, that's my prediction. I got a unanimous decision by Artem in the enemy's turf, you know, his enemy's turf, his opponent's turf. I'm not saying he's the enemy, I'm just saying his opponent's turf. Let me be clear, because people like to nitpick and take little things and blow it out of proportion on the internet. You know how they go. But yeah, so I think that even though he's on his opponent's turf, Akui will be, I think, not quite overwhelmed. He'll still hold his own, but I think that the edge will go to Dalakian, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know if I'm missing something. I appreciate y'all rocking with me as always, man. I love y'all for real. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as always, and like the video. We out. God bless. Peace. Y'all be easy, man. Without God, I am nothing. But with God, I can do anything. And that applies to you, brother and sister. Let's go.
From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.